Hey you guys, welcome back to another reading. Are you guys excited? Yes, today we're reading on Megan Thee Stallion. I know y'all like, here we go, reading on this bitch again. I know. I'm running out of ideas, so I just thought, okay, why not read on Megan Thee Stallion? If you guys don't know, she is currently in the process of possibly being sued. Due to a photographer she used to work with. This guy, he came out and said, yo, Meg kind of forced me to watch her have intercourse with another woman in the car. I think he said it was like two women or one woman in the car one night when they were driving on their way from an event, and he was forced to sit there in the car and watch, and he was very uncomfortable. And the second he spoke up about it and he showed some sort of retaliation, they decided to blackball him in the industry, and he hasn't been able to really have a successful career ever since then. So I will be reading on this and we will be getting down to the bottom of it, okay? Any Megan Thee Stallion defenders, because y'all came under my last video when I exposed that Megan Thee Stallion allegedly, all this is alleged for entertainment purposes only, allegedly she lied about the whole Tory situation that night. You guys came at me and you guys said that I was, this, that, and the third, but we will be addressing that all today. All right, before we do get into it, yes, I do offer tarot readings. I have my own place, so I'm completely free for tarot readings, you guys. Period. So go get you a tarot reading. Okay, my prices are about to go up because, baby, the cost of living is going up. All right, if you feel me, I'm not saying they're going to be $100, definitely not, but they're going to be okay, like, yeah. So let's get into it. Megan Thee Stallion, what was going on that night? Why the hell was she having intercourse in front of her photographer? And what's going on? Did she really do it? Like, let's ask that first of all, right? Because everybody is seen as innocent in the beginning in the eyes of the law, right? So let's get into it. Spirit. I don't even have to use tarot cards, but I feel like let's just make double sure, right? Did Megan Thee Stallion have intercourse in front of her photographer that night? Spirit's telling me the answer is yes. I want this reading to be quick and simple because I want to go out. I'm hearing the answer is yes. She did. She did it. The Fool card is here. She did it. I feel like it was an in-the-moment decision, right? I feel like when she did it in the car in front of her photographer, like, I'm hearing she wasn't properly thinking. Like, it was a very impulsive decision, right? It's not like she planned to do this in the car. It kind of felt like, she had a night out of drinking, which Spirit is saying something with her and partying and drinking makes her very reckless. Like, she's that type of person, when she gets a few drinks into her system, she starts making very reckless decisions. She's one of those people that really shouldn't drink, to be honest. And if she does drink, she needs to really monitor the amount she drinks. Like, okay, she's one of those people where when she goes out to drink, she needs to only have one cup, 1 or 2 cups, and that's it. Okay, but I'm hearing, when they entered the car, it was a night out. She was already kind of faded. She was wasted. And so was the person, whoever the girl was next to her. I feel like she was really coming on to her. I feel like there was previously, before this party, before this day, before this night, whoever she had intercourse with in the car, which I feel like the person's identity has been kept private. It feels like there was already tension between them, like sexual tension I'm picking up between them before this party. And, they were both faded. And, people get bolder when they're under the influence of liquor. And so I feel like the liquor just brought out hidden tension between them. So there was already some energy going on beforehand, right? They just said fuck it and decided to go full throttle when they had a couple drinks in their system, okay? So yeah, she definitely did do it in front of the photographer, but Spirit is saying, was he held against his will? No. Okay, so it may not be as severe as he may be making it seem, but I understand why he's trying to make it severe. It's because he's looking for a check, and I don't blame him, because I am going to confirm some other things he said, right? That was the only thing I felt like he kind of like exaggerated a little bit, was him being held against his will. Now, Spirit is saying he's not telling a complete lie, right? Because at the end of the day, think of it like, think of a boss that you work with, right? You're working with a boss and you guys are hanging out after work. Next thing you know, you're in a car and they do something very uncomfortable, like they're kissing their partner and getting very touchy-feely in front of you, right? Now, keep in mind, yeah, you guys are outside of work, but this is still your boss. This is the person that is writing you checks. This is the person that is paying your bills. You're going to feel uncomfortable, but at the same time, you're going to be a little bit hesitant to speak up, because it's like, damn, if I speak up, I'm possibly risking my position at this job. So was he held against his will physically? No. A lot of people are like, oh, what do you mean she held you against your will? You're a grown-ass man. Yeah, but this is still his boss. This is the person that is writing his checks at the end of the day. So obviously he's going to feel a bit uncomfortable, and he's going to kind of feel like, damn, I can't really speak up, because if I do, I'm going to get fired. So in a way, I felt like it was a little bit of a... Spirit is saying he's not completely wrong, though. Like, he kind of was being held against his will. At the end of the day, Spirit is telling me Megan was wrong for this. This was wrong time. They're not saying she can't have her fun. You know, like, you can have your fun. You can get down and dirty if you want to. But in front of a person that you work for, that is very unprofessional, especially when you're out here trying to make yourself seem like some social justice warrior, and next thing you know, you doing it in front of your work. Like, you have to understand, it's the power. Spirit is saying it's the power dynamics that were at play that made the situation, that's what's possibly going to aid in him winning the situation. I feel like he will get something from the situation. I'm not saying Meg will face some sort of legal consequence, but it feels like he's going to get something, whether it's money or some sort of settlement. Spirit is saying it is in his right to get something, because this is a karmic situation. Meg needs to learn her lesson. She may have gotten away with the Tori situation, with lying and fabricating some things about that night. But when it comes to this situation, Spirit is kind of putting their foot down, and they're kind of giving her a slap on the wrist. Like, you need to learn your lesson, right? Spirit is telling me Meg has a problem with accountability. I feel like she has a victim complex. She has a victim complex. And like I say, many times when you are a victim for so long, you eventually become the perpetrator, you become the bully, right? So when you can't get out of that victim mindset and woe is me, everybody's attacking me, because that's how I feel like she's going to address the situation, because again, it worked with the Tory situation, right? She is going to try to evade accountability and be like, oh, you're just trying to bring a black woman down. I feel like her team is going to come up with a defense, but the defense is going to be very weird, because at the end of the day, I feel like Spirit's saying the only way to get out of this unscathed is for her to take accountability. Just say, you know what, I was fucked up. I shouldn't have had intercourse while you were sitting right there as my employee, right? Because at the end of the day, there's power dynamics at play. I'm your worker. I mean, I'm your boss, right? Say I'm your boss. At the end of the day, I can't just go willy-nilly doing whatever the hell I want to do, because this isn't like a regular friendship dynamic, right? I am feeling like, yes, that was his boss. Megan was his boss, but I do feel like they had some sort of familiarity and they were comfortable with each other, right? So I do feel like they possibly could have hung out after work. Maybe Meg invited him to an after party and they had drinks together. But still, at the end of the day, Meg needs to understand, a person of her status, you're still his boss. So yeah, he's cool with you, but you never know. Maybe he's just cool with you because he's looking for a check. You know, you're cutting his check. You are engaging in a sort of power dynamic as his boss, and you have to understand this isn't just a regular friend down the street. You are giving him money for a job. Therefore, sometimes he may feel like, okay, I have to obligate to get this check, right? So anyways, I feel like her team is going to come up with a defense, and it's going to be somewhat good. You know, I do feel like, again, Meg has very good connections within the industry, but they're making me feel like the defense her team will come up with is going to have some holes in it. Like, it's not going to be completely good. And I feel like the judge is really going to question Meg's character, because it's like, why would you do this in front of somebody that works for you? Like, it's no matter how you try to flip it, toss it, turn it, the truth still stands. Like, you had intercourse in front of your worker. That's inappropriate. And you should be held accountable for this. So I feel like the judge, I'm not going to lie, it feels like the judge is kind of judging her. Like, that's ironic. But no, seriously, I feel like the judge is kind of looking at Meg a little sideways now, because it's like, why would you do that? And they did for further disclaimer, they tried to get the case dismissed, but honestly, it feels like the judge is kind of on her ass. Like, the judge wants to hold her accountable for this. Like, so I'm not gonna lie, the judge is at a disadvantage. I feel like when it came to the other situation with Tori, the judge kind of favored her, but it feels like for this case, the judge is kind of like already looking at her a little sideways because of, why would you do this in front of, like, that's unprofessional. And yeah, so I do see her being held accountable for this. Oop, the Queen of Wands is right here. Yeah, Queen of Wands lets me know she definitely did that. The Queen of Wands talks about femininity, but it also talks about femininity in a more erotic, kind of passionate way. The Wands also does talk about being in the heat of the moment, very quick movement, fast paced, making decisions on impulse. So yeah, she did that. And I do feel like I'm seeing a vision of him, the photographer, while this was all going down. He was sitting in the car, and I just feel like you can tell in his body language, it was very uncomfortable. Like, you can tell he was uncomfortable. I feel like his shoulders were kind of tense, and he was kind of like, leaning to the side. I feel like they were doing it right next to him, which made him even more uncomfortable. But again, I feel like Meg, at this point, she wasn't making sound decisions because Spirit is saying she was intoxicated with liquor. And yeah, she needs to lay off the alcohol. I feel like as she gets older, her alcohol consumption will like start depleting her health. So she needs to lay off the alcohol for real. But yeah, let me ask Spirit, will she be held accountable for this? What will be the outcome of the situation? I feel like people are going to start to notice the cracks in Meg's story. Like, they're going to start to see, like, Meg is not this, person that can do no wrong, and she does have a victim complex. So I do feel like people are going to start holding her accountable more, and they're going to start seeing through the cracks of her character, like her character flaws. What will be the outcome of this situation, Spirit? But I feel like he's not lying. I feel like he's telling the truth. What will be the outcome of the situation? Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune, again, letting me know this is very karmic. This is a karmic situation. The Ten of Pentacles is here. I feel like this will possibly affect Meg's stability. And I feel like this will possibly affect her connections within the industry as well, because it's like, damn, you've been outed for having, in front of your worker. People are not going to want to work for you anymore. If they know you're going to be unprofessional in a professional environment, people are not going to want to associate themselves with you anymore. What will be the outcome? The Knight of Pentacles, I feel like he's going to get some sort of settlement. I feel like whether it is, again, like similar to the Tyler Perry situation, whether it is going to be through the legal system or it's going to be under the table, like they offer him secretly and he may drop the case. If he drops the case randomly, they paid him money under the table. But I feel like Spirit's going to want the case to be solved publicly so Meg can be held accountable. But yeah, she has a victim complex and she doesn't like being held accountable for things. But yeah, I feel like the case is gonna go, the Five of Wands. It's gonna be a long, drawn out battle. Like, her team is gonna pull up a fight. Both of their teams are gonna be in the courts arguing. I feel like as the days go on, we're going to see more information come out about this night, and both teams will be pulling up facts about this night to defend their sides. But yeah, she's gonna be very defensive. The Justice card came out. I feel like it's gonna go in his favor. Meg it's not going to go in her favor. Ooh, the Two of Pentacles, yeah. So Spirit is also letting me know, because he did say when he stopped working with Megan, she blackballed him from the industry. So did she really blackball him from the industry? I feel like that's the truth as well. I definitely feel like, after he stopped working for her and he kind of spoke up about some things, it feels like Megan went on to shit talk him to other people, and because she went on to shit talk him to other people, this affected his position in the industry. This affected his career. It feels like Megan, okay, you want the fame, you want the money, you want the notoriety, but what comes with fame is great power, and power is to be used consciously and wisely. You can't just go around doing certain things when you know you have a big name and a brand attached to you, right? If I am, say for example, a minister, I can't go around just talking shit about anybody because it has the potential to affect their lives, right? You have the power to destroy somebody, and that's not to be used recklessly. And so that's why I feel like Spirit wants to hold her accountable for this, right? Now, do I feel like her career will be destroyed because of this? No. She's still going to be Megan Thee Stallion. She's still going to have a music career. I do feel like her fame and her popularity may go down throughout this case. I feel like she will for once experience, well, not for once, but she will lose the public opinion. Yeah. Did she really blackball him? Let's see. Did she really blackball him, Spirit? King of Wands. Did she blackball him? Did Megan Thee Stallion blackball her ex-photographer? The Knight of Swords is here. She was shit talking him. Yeah, she did. Whether it was intentional or not, you need to understand to use your power wisely. It doesn't matter whether it was intentional or not. You can't just go around shit talking people and then like be surprised when their lives are ruined when you know you are a big name and a big brand. Okay, so long story short, you guys, Meg has a lot of growing to do. She does. I hope she learns from the situation. But yeah, she has a victim mindset, and I feel like her team is going to lean into that. Like, I just feel like they're not going to be able to come up with a good defense, because at the end of the day, the point still stands. You had intercourse in front of your worker, and there's no defending that. You have to take accountability. You have to. Like, for once, Spirit is not letting her evade accountability. Like, you have to own up to that shit. Whew. Anyways, this was a short reading. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please comment down below more people y'all want me to do. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts. Mwah.